Welcome to CRUD operations using JDBC. After watching this video, you will be able to describe how to perform CRUD operations using JDBC, explain the differences between statement, prepared statement, and callable statement objects for each CRUD operation, describe how to implement pagination and handle errors effectively, and describe best practices for secure and efficient CRUD operations. The acronym CRUD refers to standard operations performed on a database, which stands for create, read, update, and delete. These CRUD operations are the backbone of any database-driven application. They allow you to manipulate data in relational databases and form the foundation for dynamic applications. In this video, we'll focus on performing CRUD operations using JDBC. We'll use a books table as an example, simulating a bookstore inventory. By the end of this video, you'll know how to use statement, prepared statement, and callable statement objects to perform these CRUD operations securely and efficiently. Before performing CRUD operations, you must connect to the bookstore database. Let's start with a standard connection setup. In this code, we use several string connection parameters, the first being the URL, which specifies the bookstore database's location, and then user and password strings, which are used to authenticate the user, establishing the database connection. Then, the getConnection method of the driver manager class is used to create the connection and store it in a variable called connection for future use. Any exception that occurs during the connection process is passed into the catch block where the caller can log it out and print the stack trace. So, imagine you're managing the inventory for an online bookstore. CRUD operations allow you to add new books by inserting the details of the latest titles. Retrieve books by searching for books by title, author, or genre. Update book prices to allow for seasonal promotions. Remove outdated book titles when books go out of print. Here is the structure of the example books table in our database. First, let's look at some create operations. This is an example of adding a new book to the inventory by providing information about the book's title, author, price, genre, publication date, and publisher. It uses a simple statement object, which is easier to understand, but it's vulnerable to SQL injection. In this code, the try block creates a simple statement. Then the query is executed to insert a book into the books table with the specified values for the table columns. Then execute update inserts the new row into the database. The number of rows affected is then printed out, and as usual, any exception that occurs is passed into the catch block. This is a more advanced example of adding the same new book to the inventory with the same information, but it uses a prepared statement object. It's more secure and reusable than the previous simple example, and it also allows for parameterized queries. In this code, the try block creates a prepared statement object using the connection.prepareStatement method. Then the query is executed to insert a book into the books table using parameters as dynamic values instead of hard-coded specific values. These parameters are set using the setString, setDouble, setDate, and setInt methods. Then, the executeUpdate method on the prepared statements object inserts the new row into the database. As before, the number of rows affected is then printed out, and again, any exception that occurs is passed into the catch block. This is another more advanced example of adding the same new book to the inventory with the same information, but it uses a stored procedure and a callable statement object. This is the stored procedure, and this is the Java code with the callable statement object. In this code, the try block creates a callable statement object using the connection.prepareCall method. Then the query is executed to insert a book into the books table using parameters as dynamic values instead of hard-coded specific values. As before, these parameters are set using the setString, setDouble, setDate, and setInt methods. Then the executeUpdate method on the callable statement object inserts the new row into the database. As before, any exception that occurs is passed into the catch block. You can see that this callable statement is very similar to the prepared statement. The key difference being that callable statement is specifically designed to execute stored procedures, while prepared statement is used for executing parameterized SQL queries directly. In terms of performing read operations, Here is an example of using a simple statement object to retrieve all the books in the inventory and then output information about each book's book ID, title, author, and price. In this code, the statement query is executed using select asterisk from books, and the results are traversed and printed out. As before, a catch block captures any exceptions that occur. This is a more advanced example of a similar kind of read operation, using a prepared statement object to retrieve all books from a specific genre and output information about each book's title and price. The key difference here is that it creates and uses a prepared statement object using the connection.prepareStatement method, and it retrieves all books from the programming genre by using select asterisk from books with the where genre equals ? Clause. This is another advanced read operation example, but this one performs pagination using a prepared statement object. You can see that the query used here is select asterisk from books, but it also specifies order by price and in descending order with a maximum limit of only the top 5 most expensive books. Again, it prints out the results and uses catch blocks for SQL exceptions. In terms of update operations, this is an advanced example of changing the price of the advanced Java book by using a prepared statement object. We are not showing an example of using a simple statement object, as it is not as secure. In this code, the update command sets the new price and uses the where clause to filter on the title. And finally, here is an advanced example of a delete operation, removing all the books of a specific genre by using a prepared statement object. In this code, the delete command removes all the books of the programming genre from the books table by using the where genre equals ? Clause to filter on the genre, and specifying the programming genre with a setString method. To conclude, let's discuss a few best practices for error handling with these CRUD operations. First is graceful exception handling by using try-catch blocks to handle SQL exceptions. Second is resource management by using try with resources to ensure all resources are closed. Thirdly is efficient logging by logging errors with meaningful messages for debugging. And lastly is validation by validating user inputs before executing queries. In this video, you learned that CRUD operations allow you to interact with relational databases effectively. A statement object is suitable for simple static queries. Prepared statement objects are preferred for secure and parameterized queries. Use callable statement objects for complex operations involving stored procedures, and proper error handling and resource management are essential for building reliable applications.